Hi everyone, I'm Christa and welcome to my video on the topic of having an aversion to certain types of crystals or gemstones. So have you ever thought about it, of why might be certain crystals or gemstones that you don't particularly like, or maybe you've been staying away from them? Maybe somebody has gifted you a crystal or gemstone and you didn't quite like it for some reason, or maybe you go down to the crystal shop and you're looking at all sorts of crystals and gemstones and there's one there on the shelf that you kind of keep passing by, that you wrinkle up your nose to, going, I don't know if I like that one, and you just skip over it. Have you ever thought about why that is? Has it to do with the color of the gemstone? Do you not like certain colors, like pink gemstones, green gemstones, black gemstones, brown gemstones? Is it something about the texture? Maybe it's a rough gemstone, you just don't like the feel of it in your hands? Or is it something more than that? So I want to share with you a story that I have about having an aversion to a specific gemstone. And I share this story because it's an interesting thing to sort of think about, of why are there certain gemstones that you're avoiding, that you have an aversion to, that you just don't like? It's like, why is that? So for myself, I really had an aversion to Jasper gemstones. Now, there's many different kinds of Jaspers out there, okay? I did not like any of them. And I'm laughing about it now because hindsight is always 20/20. And I just avoided it so much. I'd go down to the crystal store, there'd be all kinds of Jaspers on the shelf, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at Jasper. Don't show me Jasper, don't give me Jasper. I don't want to have anything to do with Jasper. I don't care the color. It's like green, red, Jasper, whatever. I don't like any of it. Okay, just avoided it. And one of my friends, she's such a great friend, you know, we were having a conversation one day, and she makes crystal jewelry, and she said to me, Christa, why don't you like Jasper? Because she was showing me this beautiful piece of jewelry she made with Jasper, and it was gorgeous, you know, it was a beautiful piece of jewelry, but I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. And my answer to her was, I just don't like it. Well, and then she asked me again, well, Christa, why don't you like Jasper? And I'm like, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. She's like, but why don't you like it? And I'm like, I just don't. It's like, end of conversation. But, you know, after I was with her and I went home and I was by myself, you know, her question kept lingering in my head. Why don't you like Jasper? So, you know, I really started to think about it. Well, what is it about Jasper that I don't like? I mean, let's go deeper there. So as I started to ask myself this deeper question, I had some interesting insights. Now, I'm going to speak generally about Jasper. Each different type of Jasper, color of Jasper, has different healing properties, but there's some healing properties that are similar to all the Jaspers. Now, at this time in my life that I did not like the Jasper, I had a lot of upheaval showing up in my life. And what I mean by that is that everything was changing in my life. I had a lot of change. So for instance, my work situation was changing. I had one work situation ending and another one beginning. And at the same time that that was happening, I had a change of home environment. I had to find a new place to live. At the same time that was happening, my love relationship was ending, okay? So that's a lot in one go. And I found that I was quite stressed out and there was a lot of chaos and upheaval. My emotions were running high because I had all of this change happening at once, and it was really hard to navigate that change. When you have a change of work, a change of home, and a change of relationship, and everything seems to be ending, but also new things are developing too. It's a lot to deal with, right? I found that in that time frame, I was really ungrounded. I was very emotionally sensitive. Everything that I thought was stable in my life was now unstable, okay? And I felt like the foundations under my feet in life, so to speak, were very shaky. Like, yes, things were ending, new things were beginning, but there was a lot of uncertainty and unknowns until everything settled down again. And I was very ungrounded. I wasn't sleeping very well. You know, I had a hard time navigating these changes. I would get stressed out. I'd be complaining to my friends. I can't believe all this is going on. What am I going to do? You know, and all of this kind of stuff. And when I look back on it, when I think about having this aversion to Jasper, when I thought about the qualities of Jasper, Jasper is grounding, it's very stable, it's very nourishing. Jasper is one of these stones, and I'll just show you a piece I have here. This is red jasper. Jaspers in general are a little bit more dense in terms of their frequency. We think about high frequency stones like apophyllite, which vibrate at a high level. This vibrates at a low level. Doesn't mean that high or low is one or is better than the other. It's not like that. But this is a more denser frequency gemstone, which means that it helps for healing and change more slowly over a longer period of time, whereas the high frequency gemstones create change very quickly, just like this, okay? Fast change, boom, things happen. Whereas Jasper, slower healing over a longer period of time. So the analogy I can give you is like a blossoming flower. You know, you've got the little bud like this, and then the flower starts to open slowly and slowly and slowly until it's fully open and fully blossomed. That's kind of like how Jasper works. It unfolds slowly over time. Now, you know, I had an aversion to the Jasper, and when I look back on it, that's exactly the gemstone that I could have been working with at that time. That's the one that I needed the most. I was working with other crystals and gemstones, but when I think about it, and I got good healing benefit, but I should have been working with the Jasper. The Jasper is what I really needed because everything was in chaos in my life. Everything was in upheaval. I was getting caught up in the stress and the drama. My adrenaline was running high. My cortisol levels were running high, and in that state of my, you know, emotions and my hormones running high, I think I was becoming a little bit almost addicted to the chaos and the drama. And I have to say that when I think about it now, you know, I wouldn't get, you know, caught up in that at this point in my life. But at that time, it was like, it was giving me almost like an emotional high, even though it was hard and I was stressed, you know, I was getting kind of caught up in that. Whereas, you know, the Jasper is grounding, calming, helps to create stability, you know, helps me to create good stability and foundations in my life, to rebuild those foundations when all the foundations got torn apart. That's what I needed. But I had an aversion to it because I was getting caught up in the stress and the drama. And if I was running high with that, the last thing I wanted was to have something to help me to create foundations, you know. So when I think about it, that's the one I should have been working with the most. So ask yourself this question. What crystal or gemstone am I avoiding? Why? Why do I have an aversion to it? Is it something that can provide to me some healing that I need right now? Do I have the courage to look at what that is? Do I have the courage to look at that, what I need, and the healing that I need, and go for it? Or am I resisting it? But why am I resisting it? Why am I resisting the healing? So these are good questions to ask yourself. Now, when I really started thinking about this aversion to Jasper, I started laughing because then I realized, oh my gosh, that would have been a great gemstone to work with. That is the one I needed the most. And in that moment, I started to fall in love with Jasper. Now, I had Jasper. I had some pieces of Jasper that people had gifted me. I had some pieces I had bought a long time ago that I just put away and conveniently forgot about because I didn't want to work with it. I pulled out all of those pieces of Jasper. I cleansed them. I sat with them. And I just really expressed gratitude to Jasper in that moment of all of the healing that it provides. And I really extended some gratitude and almost like an apology to the Jasper, like, you know, sorry I've been avoiding you, Jasper, you know, I'm sorry I've put you away in the boxes just to not look at you, and I'm sorry I've had this, you know, kind of negativity towards you. And I took the Jasper, all the pieces of Jasper, and I just held them in my hands, and I just sent a lot of gratitude to all of the pieces of Jasper that I had, and they were different types. And I just extended that apology and that gratitude to the Jasper and just thanked it for all the healing that it could provide for me. And then I began to work with Jasper. So every day I would work with one of the pieces of Jasper. I would put it in my pocket. I would wear it during the day. I would actively work with it, thanking it for bringing stability into my life, thanking it for helping me to create stable foundations in my life, whether that was stable foundations for relationships, actions that I needed to take to bring healing into my relationships, bringing, you know, stable energy into work, helping me to create stable work for myself, helping me to create good stability of finances. of good stability of home life, all kinds of different stability, and helping me to lay foundations to build upon my goals and to build and achieve my goals and my dreams. And started to work with Jasper in that way. And like I said, it works slowly over a longer period of time. So when I worked actively with Jasper over many months, and I looked back from when I started working with Jasper, and then many months went by, and where I was at that point in my life, beautiful things had blossomed within my life. And I just really felt so grateful in that moment of all the beautiful healing energy that the Jasper could provide, that I was working with to create all of this beautiful healing change in my life. And it was wonderful. And then I thought to myself, gee, Jasper, where have you been all my life? Why have I been avoiding you? Oh my gosh, I should have been working with you sooner. So that's my story. So I hope it helps to provide some insight and start, opening up the dialogue for you within yourself of why there could be certain crystals or gemstones that you're avoiding and why. So I would love to hear about it. Is there a crystal or a gemstone that you have been avoiding, that you have an aversion to? Please let me know what that is. If you start to work with that stone, let me know how it goes for you. I would love to hear about it, and I would love to create a discussion amongst you, all of you watching this video, of leaving your comments and having it open up as a discussion of what crystals you have an aversion to, why that is, and what your experience is once you start to heal that and work with it, and what beautiful healing opens up in your life as a result. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have found this video useful. If you are interested in going deeper into crystal healing and learning crystal healing techniques, I invite you to join my live and interactive online crystal healing classes. And you can find my class schedule on my website at learncrystalhealing.com. You can also sign up for my email newsletter on my website to be informed of class schedules, and you can also like my Facebook page to stay updated. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Christa Lynn, crystal healing therapist, as well as teacher of crystal healing classes. Thanks so much for watching. Blessings to you, and namaste.